It turns out that the number 2, 3, and 5 plastics are so easy to work with that here at the Rosebud Continuum, we've even begun making durable classroom and wildlife trail signs out of them. Former Globe students, club leaders from Patel, Kiana Sladicki and Folarunsу Tosinester and Franklin Durake, got school kids to gather bottle caps from beaches over several weeks as an environmental cleanup effort, sorted them by color, and then spent time shredding them and feeding them into the Philobot, the USF 3D Access Lab, and turning them into 3D printer filament. For quality reasons, they turned from this effort to instead melting the plastic caps into a gooey taffy in their dorm room in their oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and then rolling and pressing it into flat signs, which they later painted and carved using our robotic CNC mill X-Carve at Rosebud, showing the potential. Later, students Sierra Rains and Lydia at EWO refined the technique using a new press that the Rosebud staff had built and a hand sander to make them smooth and shiny. Their research showed the value of hanging on to all the HDPE and polypropylene plastic you can, while Culhane made a weekly habit of turning my number 7s into crude oil for the hurricane lamp. And Paul Duffenbach, another student, worked with Culhane, me at Rosebud, to build a small aluminum smelter which they used to turn all the aluminum cans into ingots and cool objects. There's so much research to be done, but the point is that with 100% of your organic waste able to be easily turned back into fuel and fertilizer at home, the aluminum is easy to recycle at home or sell, the other metals and glass easy to sell, the cardboard and paper, even the soiled pizza boxes, all useful as mulch in the garden, and much of the plastic is useful for sign making or 3D printing or oil making at home or in the community. There's no reason to have a domestic waste problem at all. It all comes down to attitude, and that's an anthropological thing, not a technical thing. My thought is that perhaps we're looking at the whole situation backwards. Maybe instead of trying to reduce the amount of material we bring home so our so-called waste can fit in one mason jar, we should instead get greedy about it and see how much we can take off businesses' hands until they start noticing and charging us for it and fully owning it themselves. Right now, they're giving us free cardboard and paper, free glass, free metal, and free oil in the form of safely storable plastic. What a bargain, huh? In my world, I imagine standing on the front porch with a shotgun and saying to any municipal garbage collector who comes for it, "Hey, you don't get my shit. This is my shit. I went to Walmart and spent my precious time shopping for it. I bought it and paid for it and brought it home. I paid for this here banana peel, and I paid for the banana that went through me to become shit. I paid for the plastic wrappers and the bags and bottles and packaging my fruit and vegetables and detergents came in. I had to haul them here and carry them inside. The hell I'm going to give them to you for free, and you ain't taking them without a fight. This here's my private property, so get the heck off my land. You don't get my shit." Imagine if we all took that attitude toward the production and consumption residuals we accumulate and started deliberately accumulating them as forms of stored capital and net present and future value. Is that the point when William McDonough's cradle-to-cradle economy might kick in, with manufacturers owning their shit and merely renting us products and taking back all their packaging as Aldi does in Germany? Isn't this really just a cultural thing when it comes down to it, with America leading the pack of package-discarding wasteful cultures? So next time you ask yourself, why do we have a garbage problem in the world? It helps to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what tribe am I in? What kind of culture have I let myself fall into that does such weird and unnecessary sacrifices? One day, the strange and barbaric and wasteful practice of throwing things away will seem as primitive as it is. Until then, you can follow our lead in recognizing that we are not professionals with fancy factories or equipment, but just citizens like you. Please, do try this at home.